So I've played a few Cryoslight games before. We've definitely played The Life We've Chosen. The first one I played was I'll Come See You. That was one of the earliest O2A2 games I've played. I don't know if I've played these Chains of Ours. Yeah, I don't think we have. But, you can certainly imagine the vibes. Ooh. Rude ladies. Okay, yes, I'm in. I kind of want to check this out now. I'm sorry, I just go perusing when I start out games in O2A2 in itch.io mode. But anyways, here's what we're here to play today: The Red Cosmos. Just released fairly recently, I believe. It's also a part of the it was submitted to NaNoRenO 2026. It was also part of the Power of Pride bundle 2026, which you can get for another week or two, depending on when this gets uploaded. But yes, a burnt-out singer seeks solitude in her deceased grandmother's old home. Nothing starts leaving her flowers. This will cover some depression, PTSD, burnout, mentions of death, vague references to past trauma, but of course, we are expecting a heartfelt and real take on these elements. Now then, Red Cosmos. Mature themes. The story centers around mental health issues. Welfare to content warnings, sure. Burnout, isolation, discussions of death and grief, self-esteem issues, fear of going insane. Ah. She sings to prove to herself that she still can. She sings because it is the only thing she knows how to do. Yeah, I can turn. Sings and does not know that even in this self-made prison, there's a heart that she's unknowingly captivated. Brother had dropped her off at the cottage a few weeks earlier. The cottage that seems so much smaller than it used to. On the outside, it resembles a battered and neglected dollhouse. The only reason she'd even managed to look at it was that she wasn't doing it alone. Her brother was there to bear witness with her. Shared guilt weighs less, or so she'd wanted to believe. Despite her protests, her brother had gotten out of the car and helped unload her bags onto the porch. Probably ruined his sneakers on the driveway that was more puddle than ground. And still, she hadn't invited him in. A better sister would have. A better sister wouldn't have needed help from her baby brother in the first place. Sure you'll be alright? She doesn't remember what she'd replied. Just that her brother had looked at her with the same expression he'd worn at Grandma's funeral last fall. It was a good thing he wasn't the crying type. She wasn't either. Made sure to usher her brother away before entering their grandmother's old house alone. Just in case. Even then, no tears had come. Perhaps she'd already shed the last tears she would ever shed. That'd be nice. She naturally settles into the small guest room where she'd always slept back when her family had been in the habit of visiting Grandma every summer. Bed, old creaky thing made of wood, uncomfortable and a bit small for a grown adult, but it's hers. It works. She'd taken part in painting that bed frame one summer when her father had still been around. Ah. Seeing the chips and imperfections in that white paint made something twist in her chest. It only strengthens her resolve to stay. In the bedroom, she doesn't go in. Some mornings she wakes up feeling as if she's been in this house for years already. After particularly restless nights, it feels as if only a few hours have passed. Days barely have meaning outside the city. Retreat, they'd said. Chance to clear her overworked mind. Start afresh. Beautiful idea, she'd agreed, if overly optimistic. A quiet mind might be the best thing she dares to hope for. That is a very real thing to hope for and real thing to struggle with, my god. That's just also... This is a very haunting expression, because that's just... Those eyes... Combined with that frown, those eyes are empty. I mean, it kind of hurts. I don't know why that hit me hard. I thought maybe I was just still feeling pent-up emotions from a bit of emotional conversation we had earlier today, but... No news is to be delivered to her during her retreat. No papers, no business calls, no interviews. Even her family had been instructed to handle her with silk gloves. Whatever the world is saying about her, she doesn't need to know. Not anymore. Someday the outside world would matter again, perhaps, but not now. She writes in her journal for the first time in years. Brings words out of her brain, hoping they would stay on her page, and rot away there. Of course they won't. They crawl right back in, lodging themselves into the same crevices she so painfully pried them out of moments earlier. She should have known it wouldn't work. She's a singer, not a writer. Even the lyrics of her songs are written by someone else. What did she expect? That night she sings someone else's songs. It doesn't help to clear her mind. It's a pointless endeavor, she knows that, but at least it's something she can do. It's the only thing she knows how to do. Sings, unaware that her voice has stirred something ancient. Something in the house awakens. The following day, the singer stays in bed until hunger coaxes her downstairs. The singer part makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense about the focus on not caring about what the world thinks about her. Threshold of the kitchen, she pauses. Makes no sense. A flower in the middle of the floor. She stares at it for a long time, mind numb. Nerving tinkle develops, travels up her spine, pulls her shoulders in. Red petals are dry and beginning to wither, so the flower was placed in this spot hours ago. Last night? She steels herself and turns around, expecting what? Ambush? Fingernails dig into her palms as she moves silently from room to room. Should she grab a weapon? Peeks into the living room. There's no one there. No one in the bathroom either. There's no one upstairs. Seen them when she woke up. The other bedroom? Her own breathing startles her, and a tiny whimper escapes her throat. This can't be happening. Pushes the door open, stares into the darkness. Nothing. It takes what feels like hours for her heart to stop pounding. Spends that time leaning against the doorframe, exhausted. Pictures of her younger self look back at her from the cupboard in the grandma's bedroom. All smiling more or less genuinely. All framed so prettily. All gone forever. She's alone in this house. Alone, and yet something like this is happening. When alone, she finds no peace. She's thought to apologize to the room for disturbing it, but doesn't. The door clicks softly when closed, just like it used to. Steadying her breath, turns to stare accusingly at the flower. Doesn't answer her demands. The name escapes her, but she's seen its kind before. Cheap little things, found in every store with a plant section. If you were to gift these flowers to someone, they'd probably take it as an insult. The mouse have done this. Mice live in the foundation in the walls. She hadn't seen one yet. She hears them sometimes, skittering about. Decides they're to blame. Overthinking. Not about something this silly. Cheap little thing. Like her. Oh. Thought makes her feel sorry for the flower. Gives it a new home and a sad glass of water. A few days the flower will die, and her worries with it. Sings the day and night away. Time will heal her. Has to. The first flower wilts, but more appear. Oh! Last she collects them and becomes crowded, glowing. She refuses to find a vase for them, although she knows Grandma had many. Soon there won't be any more flowers, she tells herself. Flowers will cease and she'll be at peace soon. Whatever this is, it can't last forever. When a whole day goes by without a flower, she starts thinking she's safe, but of course she isn't. When to brush her teeth, she's greeted by another red trespasser, tucked behind a corner of the bathroom mirror this time, waiting for her. She begins accusing herself. She must be the one doing this to herself, somehow. Sleepwalking? That can start happening at any age, right? Sleepwalking is not the explanation. There must be something wrong with her memory. It wouldn't be surprising, but she'd really prefer the sleepwalking. Must have been sleepwalking. Benna, huh? Saying it out loud doesn't help her feel any more confident. Picks up the flower and flushes it down the toilet. Oh. First time in weeks, she scrutinizes her appearance. Her hair is a mess. The once obnoxiously bright dye is decomposed into a dull pink color, into chewed gum, a mousy root growth. It's her to face just how much time has passed since she cared. A stronger person would have gotten themselves together by now. Been as capable as she pretended to be. Pretending could only take you so far. Must have known. Perhaps not all of them. At least some of them. They had to have known that she was a fraud. So what on earth have they seen in her? It was all arbitrary, wasn't it? She just happened to be there at the right time. No. Wrong time. She'd been there at the wrong time, making the wrong decisions. Every time, every step of the way. When she'd gotten on that path, she'd shut her eyes and kept walking. No thinking, just doing. It occurs to her that she could have turned back at any point. A smarter woman would have. Would she be now if she'd turned back? She'd never started on that path in the first place. The absence of answers, a sharp and spiny sensation grows within her, trying to choke her from the inside. Turns into her empty songs again and sings the lyrics that mean nothing to her. Allows herself to sink into those songs, deep into the false sense of security they provide. Something to do while she waits for this to be over. Oh! There. Mere meters away lurks, its shoulders tightened, its terrible head bowed in shame. Knows it's trespassing. A dreadful creature, frozen in place like a statue, matches its breathing to the woman's so she will not hear it. Instinct, she bolts up, stares into the dark hallway with raised eyes. Nothing. A flower. Stays up all night regardless, silent, listening, hearing nothing. No footsteps, no sound of anyone tampering with the front door. Windows would make even louder sound, surely. The house creaks as it always has done, but there is nothing else. Morning, when she feels brave enough to venture downstairs again, one other flower awaits her beside her bedroom door. Throws it into a wall. Loses track of the days, but not of the flowers. 5 of them, she knows this. She remembers placing the 5th one there before she had grown frustrated and started trashing the new discoveries. She counts the flowers again and again. 6. 6. Why are there 6 now? She looks up. Night has fallen again. This time accompanied by a thunderstorm. Rain rattles her windows. The storm takes her electricity that night. It'll take days to fix, they said on her cell phone before that went dark as well. She is truly alone now. Out of reach. Isn't new, is it? She's barely received any calls since she arrived. She certainly hasn't made any, as was agreed. Some time on her own would do her good. That solitude should be comforting. This is what she'd wanted. Lack of choice in the matter that puts her on edge. Wind dies down by the next morning. She thinks it's morning now. There's no end to the rain. It continues drumming on the roof for hours and hours, drowning out the sounds of the house, creaking, the scuttling, and the should make her happy, but she only finds herself pacing, keeping watch, monitoring the house. Must have miscounted the flowers the other day. She must have discovered and added the sixth one herself at some point without thinking about it. That's why she couldn't remember doing so. Must have been absent-minded, exhausted. It's normal to forget things when one hasn't been getting enough sleep. Blaming her old memory is easier than... A knock. The front door at this hour. Hour is it? Creeps through the hallway like some sort of frightened animal. Is someone at the door? Human? What did she expect it? Figure, blurry but clearly there, waits patiently, having seen her through the small window beside the door. Looking through the rain-whipped glass as she approaches, she doesn't recognize the diminutive stranger, but at the sight of her, their yellow raincoat puts her at ease at once. Was going to commit murder while wearing something so endearing. Perhaps they need help. Their car broke down. Maybe they need to make a phone call. Either way, she's going to tell them that she can't help and to ask another house. She can do that much. The neighbor, as it turns out, it's a neighbor checking up on her, asking if she needs any help. Cat socks. Or cat crocs. She tells the woman she's doing all right, even without electricity. She's got enough food in her pantry to survive until it's fixed. Oh, she's wearing the cat socks. Yeah, there's the boots and rain note here. Yes, this is just how it is in the area. This happens once or twice a year. She leaves at the part where her phone is dead and she's got no way to charge it. They speak, the older woman looks at the younger, more disheveled one. Really looks at her, and a warm, if hesitant smile wrinkles her face. The singer braces herself. Seen that look before, too many times to count. There's a woman with an autograph, a hug, just more of her time. However, what the woman says next, she says quietly, almost apologetically, with determination like it's something she can't bear to keep inside. You must be Venna, and you have your grandmother's eyes. She had those long lashes, too. Sort of relief washes over the singer. She fumbles for words, just put on a grateful smile. Eventually manages to thank the woman for the compliment. She's heard it before, of course, but it's been long enough since the last time that she'd almost forgotten how often she used to hear it. Specific compliments would likely become rarer and rarer over time. The longer she lived, the further away Grandma would be. Apparently this neighbor hadn't been close with Grandma. Met a few times before Grandma had fallen ill. Though it had been a short-lived acquaintanceship, Grandma had found the time to brag about her grandchildren. Neighbor already knows Venna's name and that she loves to sing. That's a very Grandma thing. Privately, Venna thanks her grandmother for not telling the rest of her life story. It's odd yet not pleasant to talk to someone who doesn't know about her catastrophe of a career, or the damage she's collected over the years. Someone who sees her as just a simple girl who likes to sing. Still, she doesn't invite the neighbor in. Venna's gaze flicks away, looking past her into the house. Again, her face brightens. Mid-sentence, she exclaims, You've got cosmos, too. These look just like the ones I've got in my yard. I didn't notice yours on my way here. The rain kept me looking down at my feet. Where are you growing them? Somewhere. Venna stammers, unable to come up with a sane-sounding explanation for the flowers, and finds herself apologizing and claiming to have just woken up from a nap, actually. Please excuse her scattered mind. Neighbor kindly laughs off her apology and offers one of her own, for having woken her up. Days are a great time for naps, after all. Out of lightness, the neighbor starts to leave, says she'll need to check on her own cosmos. Something's been eating them this year. It's the flowers, not the leaves. It's strange. What animal does that? Rain booms louder as the blood drains from Venna's head. Barely holds herself together long enough to exchange goodbyes. Shuts the door with more force than she intended, scaring herself. Her eyes squeeze shut and her fingers still gripping the door handle. She takes a few shaky breaths. Silence. Just her again. Her in this cursed house. She observes her neighbor's departure awkwardly from the very edge of the window so as not to be seen. The neighbor to look back. Maybe she should have invited her in after all. Even after the bright yellow raincoat had disappeared up the road, she kept staring listless. To return to whatever awaited her inside the house. How to process what she just heard. animal does that? Rubs her neck, trying to massage some of the tension out, but only makes herself dizzy. Being so on edge for days on end can't be good for a person. One short conversation with a neighbor has left her utterly exhausted. Thinks back to the neighbor's wobbly yellow silhouette in the window and almost laughs. She's forgotten about her worries so swiftly at the sight of that. I think there's something inherently trustworthy about a yellow raincoat. The tiny respite seems so distant already. Turning around slowly, she returns to her reality, her nightmare. Red cosmos. The title drop. Back at her so innocently, all 6 of them. Still 6, no 7th. She counts them again to be sure. Where have the others been going? Or maybe the neighbor is really referring to the extended period of time that Venna has been living here. Her journal calls to her that dark afternoon, promising to keep her busy until it's over. Until what's over? Her thoughts come back the moment she shuts the heavy notebook. Tries not to look around, inspect, not check any places, not open any doors unnecessarily, and heads for the kitchen. Rain finally slows to a quiet drizzle while she eats her canned tuna and haphazard salad, made out of the ingredients that would spoil the quickest in the unpowered fridge. Finds herself most grateful not for the taste, but for the long time it takes to chew through a meal. The most tolerable half an hour she's experienced all day. Still early, but she decides that she's eager to sleep, eager to put this day behind her. Up tomorrow, sometime, and any new flowers in this whole chapter of her life will be over. She'll process it all later. Right. Finds yet another cosmos, on her bed this time, red on her sheets of white. That's when it all comes pouring out. With her head in her hand, she sings with the art of a woman fighting for her life. It's not beautiful. Screams her throat raw and keeps going. Sounds rushing out of her are ugly and unrefined, lacking sense and structure. The opposite of everything she's ever been taught. If a human heard her now, they'd be frightened, beg for her to stop. This is going to destroy your career. Please, please destroy it. I don't want any of this anymore. The brooding presence behind her, a shudder up her spine. She's imagining things. His touch on her shoulder, his breath at her. Just her imagination. It's just. She even comprehends what she saw. She's running. Dashes toward the stairs, but pivots down the short hallway instead. She needs out of this rotten house now. Crashes onto the balcony, gasping for air. Braces herself against the wooden railing. Screams, twisting in the air, reaching for anything to hold on to when. Oh! She lands upright. Somehow, wet grass under her feet, surrounded by massive white bones. What are they? She's holding on to one. It's alive. Spindly legs, arms, limbs like those of a spider. They spill out of the house, onto the balcony and down to the ground below. These limbs are what broke her fall. Swaying on her feet, she looks up, comes face to face with what's been haunting her. Its face is simultaneously the most terrifying yet beautiful thing she's ever seen. Ashen and ancient, like a sculpture long forgotten. Her nightmare and her savior. Oh, the color. It holds her like she's the most precious creature on earth. Its eyes wide and overflowing with emotion. Its voice is like the first breath of spring air, fragile yet soothing. Softly whispered promise. I'm sorry to have frightened you. I may have grown too bold today. Are you unhurt? The searches for words. I'm good. Who are you? Like a smile warms the creature's face. You would be wise to forget about me as swiftly as you can, little one. I believe I've tormented you enough, though it was never my intent. Truth be told, frighten me too. Your pain is too much for one small body to hold on to. In all my time, I have never seen such anguish before. I am sorry to have added to your suffering. No, you only scared me because I didn't understand. Oh, how are you here? Where did you come from? I am always here, but I do not belong. Means not speak like this, not for much longer. What do you mean? You can't stay?
Will always be here to one. It's just may not see me.
His face becomes harder and harder to focus on, as it was just a half-dreamt image on the border of sleep, consciousness,
Holding a physical form. Truly have not been very wise in my dealings with you. But seeing you unhurt, don't regret a thing.
Hey, stay with me. Tell me, what can I do to help you? I don't want you to go. Warm purr resonates in the giant being's throat. And this small subconscious reaction seems to bring it pain. It shudders, sinewy muscles trembling.
You must know that you are loved. So very deeply loved. You always will be.
Deliberately, as if every breath is an enormous effort, word draining its very essence. Answer me, how can I help you?
You need not help me. Content, as long as you and yours are happy.
Its foreleg slips out of Venna's hand. Tries to reach for it, it is simply no longer there. Wait, don't go! Please.
Keep singing. Drop.
Venna blinks once and the creature is gone. She stays. Stays for a long time, staring at the empty space her savior left behind. Thoughts slowly begin to find their way back into her head, but they are not the sharp and cruel thoughts she's used to housing. The rain no longer falls. Something wet rolls down her cheeks. Besides, this is all right. She is all right. Hey, you can still hear me, right? I have a proposal. You want to hear me sing again? Bring me more flowers. I don't care if you have to steal them. That's fine. Keep bringing them to me even if I cry sometimes. If I frighten you again, please, keep bringing them to me. Oh, I want to receive so many flowers I grow bored of them. Could you do that for me? Oh. God, you do this! Thank you for reading her Red Cosmos. Story and art by Cryoslight. A wonderful motive music. Sound effects. Very good stuff. God, you... You... This series alone, you have such a wonderful touch with this, creature, supernatural creature, and human dichotomy, almost. These interactions are always so cool. And just... And really, like, even if this creature, say this creature is, God, I presume this is a creature who's haunting Grandma's house, or just lurking in Grandma's house. Some sort of creature of the land, long before that, which just took root there. possibly had some kind of bond with her grandma to begin with, or at least observed the grandma to begin with. Left alone after grandma died. Granddaughter moves in mourning, crying, singing, just sort of existing in various shapes or forms. Creature hears her sing. Creature sees her suffering. And really, our understanding of that is that the creature, that amount of suffering that Vita was carrying, scared it. And that's the sort of human and supernatural interaction that just always stands out to me in these games. It's just the supernatural as a window into you, the human soul. And that's just such a great vehicle for that level of introspection here. It's just really good. This has been a Red Cosmos. Just remember, keep singing, thrive. Until next time, until then, good night.